Hello everyone, welcome to biology class. We have been discussing chapter number 1, plant tissues, and in this chapter we have learned the different types of plant tissues, that is meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Thereafter we have discussed about the simple permanent tissues. In today's class we will be learning about the complex permanent tissues and their types, and also we will learn about the structure and function of these tissues. In the later part of the video, we will be discussing and we will go through the remaining exercise part of this chapter, including the question answers. At the end of the video will be a revision assignment test for you. You have to note down those questions and try to solve them in your fair class notebook. Let us begin. So the topic begins here, the complex permanent tissues. These are the second type of permanent tissues apart from the simple permanent tissues. So why they are called so complex permanent tissue? Because they are made up of more than one type of cell. In the simple permanent tissues, generally single type of cell is there. Here different types of cells are there which are performing together, working together to form a unit. This is what is called as complex permanent tissues. And these complex permanent tissues, generally their main function, the function of complex tissues is to conduct water and food materials, means they are transporting water from one part of the plant to the other parts of the plant. Similarly, they carry the food from the leaves are preparing food, from there the food is being distributed to all parts of the plant. This is what is done by the complex permanent tissues, and these are also called as vascular tissues or conducting tissues, because they are conducting water and food in the plant body. That is why they are also called as vascular tissues. Next, now the categories, the types of complex tissues are two here. One is called xylem, another one is phloem. These are the two types of complex permanent tissues. Let us have a look on them one by one. First we will study about xylem. As you've seen, these are conducting tissues. So the xylem is doing what? It is the water conducting tissues. So water is transported in the plant body by xylem tissue. Xylem tissue is responsible for this function. Let us read there. It conducts water and dissolved minerals. The minerals are dissolved in water only. It conducts water and dissolved minerals from the roots to various parts of the plant. And one more function is there. It also provides support to different plant parts. So these are the two main functions of xylem. First function is it transports water, and second function is it gives support to the plant body. When it is transporting water, that time in this water some minerals are also dissolved. So as the water is moving in the plant body, minerals also flow in that. So both functions are going on together. Next, now the xylem cells, because in the last part here we have seen these are complex permanent tissues. Why they are called so? Because they are many cells are there. Different types of cells are working together. So in xylem, let us see what are those different type of cells. In the xylem, there are four types of cell. First is called as tracheids. Second one are called as vessel elements. Third one is called xylem parenchyma, and the fourth one is called xylem fibers. These names of the types of xylem you have to learn. Let us now see there the functions in detail are given. First is it is responsible for upward movement of water and dissolved minerals. So they are conducting the dissolved minerals in water, but the direction of this movement you have to remember. This water is moving upward. In the case of xylem, water moves upward because the plants are absorbing the water from the roots. Roots are at the bottom, so water is moving upward there. Next, second function, the lignified cell wall of xylem. Yes, lignin is there. In xylem tissues, lignin is present in cell wall. It provides mechanical support because lignin is very tough. We have seen in sclerenchyma tissue, lignin is present. It makes the sclerenchyma tissue very tough. Similarly, xylem also is having this lignified cell wall, and it is giving what? It is giving mechanical support to different parts of the plant body. So these are the two functions of xylem. Let us come to the next one. This is the second type of complex permanent tissue. It is called as phloem, and phloem is found where? It is found all over the plant body. What it is doing? It is responsible for the movement of food. Now here notice the difference. Here the direction is given downward. Water is flowing upwards. The phloem is carrying or distributing the food downwards. From the leaves, the food is coming downwards. This phloem also consists of 4 types of cells. These are given here. First is sieve tubes, second are companion cells, the third one phloem parenchyma, and the fourth one is phloem fibers. Now out of these 4 types of cell, this last one, the phloem fibers, these are actually dead cells. These are dead cells, and the remaining 3 sieve tubes, companion cells, and the phloem parenchyma, these are the living cells. All these 3 are living. The last one, phloem fibers, are actually dead cells. Next line will read, sieve tubes work as the conducting channel in phloem. We have read here there is downward movement of food. Now out of these 4 cells, there are 4 cells are there. In which of these this food is moving? So the answer is sieve tubes. Sieve tubes are only responsible which are carrying food. Food is moving in this. Companion cells are helping them. The name itself is telling companion. It is a helper of the sieve tubes. The rest are also a part of the phloem, but the main role is done by sieve tubes. These are actually tubular cells. All different tubes or pipe-like structures are joined one after the other, like different pipes are joined together one after the other and form a long chain. That is what is making up the phloem tissue. So here also the 4 names you have to learn. The types of cell. Out of this, which is responsible for this passage of food is sieve tubes. Which one is living? First 3 are living here. Sieve tubes, companion cells, and parenchyma are living. The last phloem fibers are dead. That is all for phloem. Let us have a discussion on this differences between the phloem and the xylem. These are the water conducting tissue because xylem are carrying water. On the other side, these are food conducting tissues. Water is moving from where? From the root to the aerial part of the plant. Aerial means the upper parts of the plant. From the root, the water moves upward. On the other side, the food is prepared in the leaves, and from there it is moving to different parts of the plant. Next one, now the types of cells are tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. The next one on the phloem, how many are there? Here also 4 are there. The main one is sieve tubes. They are helped by companion cell. Then we have phloem parenchyma, and the last is phloem fibers. Next one is the last point. Except xylem parenchyma, out of these 4 cells, 4 types of cell are there in xylem. Out of these 3 are dead. 3 are dead, and only xylem parenchyma, only this one is living. Only one is living in this case. But on the case of phloem, here only one is dead. Which one is dead? That is phloem fiber. Here one is dead, other side one is living. Which one is living is xylem parenchyma of xylem is living. Remaining 3, tracheids, vessels, and the xylem fibers, they are dead cells. But in the case of phloem, on the right side you see, in the case of phloem, only the phloem fibers are dead. The remaining 3, that is the sieve tubes, the companion cells, the phloem parenchyma, all these 3 are living. So these are the basic differences between the xylem and the phloem tissues. These are called what? The complex tissues are called what? The complex permanent tissues are also called as the vascular tissues. This you have to remember, so I am telling it again. These are called vascular tissues. Why they are called vascular tissue? Because they conduct food and water in the plant body from one direction to other direction. That is all for this chapter. Discussion is complete here. Now we will have the exercise part and the notebook work we will discuss here, and followed by that at the end of the video is a revision test paper for you to solve. Let us now move on to the exercise part. Here we have the exercise part. You will check your book, page number 8. It is given. The question is assess yourself, and these are true and false statement. And if we find any false, we have to correct that statement. Let us have this now. First is a group of cells of common origin that perform a similar function form an organ. The answer is false. The organ will not come. In place of organ, you have to write tissue. Second, now meristematic cells are small and thin walled. The answer is true. The third statement is permanent tissues are immature. No, they are not immature, they are mature. So answer is false. Next, fourth answer is true. Fifth one, xylem is an example of simple permanent tissue. No, they are not simple, they are complex permanent tissue. So in place of simple, you will write complex. The answer is false. Another complex tissue is phloem. The question 6 is also true. Parenchyma, yes, it provides mechanical strength, so it supports the plant. Seventh, permanent tissues are located on the growing tips of root, stem and leaves? No, they are not located. Answer is false. In place of permanent, you will write meristematic tissues. These are actively dividing cells. The eighth answer now, the cells of the parenchyma tissue are dead, thin-walled with small vacuoles. No, the answer is false. In place of dead, you will write living, and in place of small, you will write large. Two changes you have to make. Next, you will check out page number 11 now. Choose the correct option. Here, the 11th answer was remaining. The answer will be D part, all of them. Similarly, page number 12, write true and false. These two answers again were left. Permanent tissues are immature. The answer is false. In place of immature, you will write mature. The next eighth part, a group of cell. Here also the organ you have to cut and you have to write tissue. The statement is false. Now we'll come to the copy work. To answer the following in detail. The first question is mention the characteristics of meristematic tissue. So they have 5 points you have to write. First is the cells of meristematic tissue are small in size. Second, they are spherical, longitudinal or oval in shape. Third, each cell has a very thin cell wall. The fourth, they are compactly arranged without any intercellular spaces. The fifth, each cell contains a large nucleus surrounded by cytoplasm. These 5 are the properties or characteristics of meristematic tissues. The second one now, name the types of permanent tissues of plant. Which of these plant tissues? A. Take part in photosynthesis. B. Give roughness and rigidity. And third is flexible and elastic in nature. So two parts of the question is divided. First they have asked name the types of permanent tissue. So we will write the answer. Permanent tissues are classified into two types. First is simple permanent tissue. Second is complex permanent tissue. Now the second part of the question is divided into three parts. First they are asking which plant tissues are taking part in photosynthesis. So photosynthesis requires chloroplast and chloroplast is present in chlorenchyma. So the A part answer is chlorenchyma. Second, which plant tissue give roughness and rigidity? That answer is sclerenchyma. Because of the lignin which is present in sclerenchyma, it gives rigidity. Rigidity means toughness. The outer cell wall becomes very tough. Just example, you can find them in the nuts. In different nuts it is found. The C part now is flexible and elastic in nature. Which plant tissue is flexible and elastic? Answer is collenchyma. The next now, question number 3. Where are stomata present in plant? What is the function of stomata? The answer is given there. They are found in epidermis of leaf, that is upper layer of the leaves, stem and other plant organ. All over the plant body it is found. What is the function now? They help in gaseous exchange of gases and photosynthesis in plant. That is the answer for this third answer. Question number 4. Which tissue is responsible for increase in length of the plant and where it is located? So length is increased by meristematic tissue, and where it is located? It is located at the growing tips of the roots, stem and leaves. Question number 5. They have asked one point of difference. Any one difference you can write of the parenchyma and sclerenchyma. So simple difference you have written. Parenchyma have thin cell wall made of cellulose, and sclerenchyma the cell wall is thick due to lignin deposit. So in parenchyma cell wall is thin, in sclerenchyma cell wall is thick. In parenchyma the cell wall is made up of cellulose, and in sclerenchyma the cell wall is having lignin. So that is the basic difference between parenchyma and sclerenchyma. The question 6, only the name they have asked. Name the tissue which take part in the movement of water and minerals. So water and minerals are conducted by what? They are conducted by xylem. Xylem is a complex permanent tissue. So only the name we will write, xylem tissue. Question 7 now, what are the chlorenchyma tissue? Why are they called so? So first we have to tell what is this chlorenchyma. So these are a type of parenchyma cells. So when here the spelling mistake is there. When parenchyma cells contain chloroplast, they help in the manufacture of food and are known as chlorenchyma. Now why are they called so? Why this name chlorenchyma is given? Because of the presence of chloroplast. Because chloroplast is present, that is why the name has been given chlorenchyma. This first part has been taken from chloroplast. Now we'll read this differentiate between. Here I have mentioned the page number and the which table you have to refer to. So you can check out in the book and you can note down the points directly from there. First is xylem and phloem. The answer you can see page number 8, the table 1.3. That same table you have to write down. Next is parenchyma and sclerenchyma, that you can find on page number 6, the table number 1.2. Next is simple permanent and complex permanent tissue, that is on page number 3, table number 1.1. In the last one, that is fourth answer, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. This is on page number 9. Here, this table number 1.4, many points are given. you have to write the last 5 points. That is, point number is mentioned, point number 4 to point number 8. Only the last 5 points you can write. Otherwise you can choose any 5 because the last ones are easier for you to remember. So I have chosen them. As per your choice also you can write any 5 point. Next, now think critically. This also you have to do in your copy. In your notebook you have to write these. Why do the cells of parenchyma have large intercellular space? The answer is simple, because these are round in shape. That is why they have space left in between them. The second, now, why are the xylem and phloem called the vascular tissue? Why is it the name has been given vascular? So the answer is given because their main function is to conduct water and food to the different parts of the plant. Here some space is there. Don't worry. Next, now, what will happen if phloem tissues are damaged or cut? The answer is in the question what they are asking, if phloem tissue is damaged, because phloem is doing what? Phloem is conducting food, and if that phloem is damaged or it has been cut, then what will happen? That transport of minerals, or we can say transport of food, will be affected. So the answer is there. Damage will affect what? Damage or cut will affect the transport of minerals. Minerals mean what? Minerals means the food which is prepared in the plant body. Now we have the homework for you. These all answers you have done. Some homework is there. You have to solve the diagram based question on page 15 and 16. The diagrams are simple. You can refer to these same diagrams which they have been drawn in the chapter. Inside the chapter you can see and refer there and solve it easily. The next, these diagrams you have to draw, figure numbers are mentioned there. These all you have to draw in your class notebook. The last one, draw the flow chart showing the types of plant tissue. A flow chart has been given that shows the different types of plant tissues, that also you have to draw. This all is your homework. In this, the diagram based question, that answers of those diagram based question we will be referring to. We will have a review in the upcoming class. I will tell the answers, but you have to try to solve them in this week. If anything internal is left, that is we will be reviewing in the upcoming class. That is all for this class. Now we have a revision test for you to have an analysis of how much you have learned. Let us move to the revision test. Here is a revision test paper. Note down the questions and solve them in your class notebook. First is choose the correct option. The options are mentioned. You can choose the correct one and write the answer. The first question, the epidermis of the plant is composed of. Second, sieve tubes and companion cell are the components of. Third, phloem performs the functions of. 4. Which one is made of dead cells? Next is fill in the blanks. 4 marks, 1 each. First is pits are found in the walls of dash cells. Second, water moves inside the plant body through the dash. Third, cells are living, elongated and thickened at corners in dash tissue. Fourth, a dash tissue is made of cells that are incapable of cell division. Next, question 3 also is of 4 marks. It is, give one word for the following. First, a tissue whose cells have a very thick cell wall or thick wall. Next, the cell deposits of sclerenchyma tissue. Which type of deposits are found in the sclerenchyma? They are asking that. The third, the outermost protective covering of the plant parts. The fourth answer, you have to write a type of meristematic tissue that helps in increasing the length of the plant part. Next, now question number 4, choose the odd one out. Only you have to choose the odd one, no need of mentioning the reason because it is not asked. First, xylem, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Second, vessels, companion cells, sieve tubes and collenchyma. These are of 2 marks, 1 each. Next is, question answers are there. Total 6 marks, 2 marks for one question. First is, why is the epidermis called as the protective covering of the plant? Second, which plant tissue provides both mechanical strength and flexibility to the plant? And third, what are permanent tissues? What is so special about them?